justice doesn't look right. With only memories, but God just call me. So date a lady. Did she say what you say? That you only meant well when it comes to face. What you say?
As a Christian minister, I want you to hear me loud and clear. God has given all human beings authority and autonomy over our own bodies. And if Roe v. Wade is struck down, this will be yet another assault on women's authority and autonomy over their own bodies. As people of faith, as followers of Jesus, we must stand up, speak up, use our voices and votes to demand that this tidal wave of regression, fueled by far-right Christians, must be stopped. If we are going to bend the moral arc of this nation towards God's vision of justice and equity, we must demand that women's rights are protected. And abortion is health care. Abortion is a fundamental right for women. We must not let this assault continue.
God is non-binary, God is queer, God is autistic. Let me unpack that for you. God is non-binary because God is the author of gender. God is genderless and genderful. They are neither male nor female, and they are both. They refer to themselves both as male and female throughout the text. And yet theology would tell us that God does not have gender, so by definition, God is non-binary. God is queer because, like gender, God is the author of all sexualities. All sexualities exist in God, and yet God is not explicitly sexual. And since asexuality is part of the LGBTQ spectrum, we can say God is queer. And finally, God is autistic because autism is a divergence from typical neurology. And since no being in existence has a mind like the mind of God, God is by definition neurodivergent. And as an autistic person, I like to say God is autistic. God always identifies with and as the most marginalized people in society.
Wow. Crazy. You're crazy, girl.
I'm a savage, yeah. Classy, bougie, ratchet, yeah. Sassy, moody, hey, nasty.
Hey y'all, for this Trans Day of Visibility, I want to talk about trans joy. So what about being trans brings me joy? For me, being trans is like a pair of glasses that I can use to see everything more clearly. Both the prison of the gender binary and the prism of beautiful gender fabulousness that exists in us all. It also helped me see that God exists beyond gender and created us, all of us, to playfully explore who we are and who we're called to be. The world needs our joy even as it tries its hardest to legislate our suffering. And you can try and legislate our lives, but nothing can separate us from our God-given divinity. Y'all, let's start a trans joy wave to celebrate the freedom we found and the freedom we invite others to find for themselves.
Are pastors allowed to marry same-sex partners? I plan to be married both as a gay Christian and as a gay pastor. There's no sin to being gay because our relationships are a reflection of God's love. Our marriage deserves equal blessing to any heterosexual relationship.
Her name is Britta Filter, and she is the Queen of New York! Yeah!